Okay guys, a quick summary on some of the mistakes I made and the thought process. I'm not going to bore you with all the development that's gone on in my brain about how this project's developed, but it is tricky because there's not a ton of information out there. There's a couple videos online that you've probably watched already. I just wasn't comfortable with the strength of this cargo floor. If you're watching this, hopefully you watch some of my other videos, and some of those had some maybe advice that you're like wondering about, and I wonder about it too. I go to bed and wake up thinking about this. But long story short here, things are coming out 95%. I'm real picky in certain things, so I kind of like wanted things to look factory and clean and neat. And here's my floor all cut out. So some of the mistakes I made, I'm just going to start off with the latest one that got me. This floor is a bit of a pain because it's velcroed down too, so it's a little bit of a wrestling match, especially by yourself. But I was trying to cut these clean, and I had no good tools. My circ saws are gone. You know, my blades were dull, and I just, got back from the store and couldn't find the blades when I was at the different hardware stores, etc., etc. So here's what I forgot about. I cut them out nice and tight because I wanted sound. I put in some sound barrier stuff, and I wanted them tight just for, obvious reasons, but I didn't account for these nubbies, the rods, and this extra piece here. So I got them to 2.5 inches, and of course I put them on and they don't fit in there because of the rods and the thing. Minor detail, but I'm definitely going to go buy a new blade before I screw with it again. This was a pain in the ass because I didn't have a circular saw. I almost bought one and just got impatient and didn't feel like waiting for it, so I went ahead. Anyway, cut your floor wide enough to deal with this. These are the OEMs, so the Mercedes added this extra tab of metal, so you'll have to go wider to get them in here. Obviously, you got to lay the floor first in my case, then bolt these in. Now, some of you are probably wondering from my previous video, what the hell happened with my mind? Well, it's been a long, iteration of this job, or development of this job with different theories, learning along the way, and seeing what I didn't like that other people did and things I wanted to improve on. I have a bolt back here, as you know, which I would have to tighten before I put the plywood in to mount my braces. So I was just test fitting things and I hadn't put that in yet. And I actually did forget about the bolt. I thought I was going to be able to drop these in and be done with it, and then I would have realized I needed to put these things in. Now, why did I put a bolt off the rail? I really don't know anymore. What happened is I didn't care for the hardest beam is the one with the gas station, as I mentioned, gas tank, as I mentioned, because you just don't have great access. I did come up with a better idea I think I would implement in the future. Maybe you guys might want to try to reinforce that. I told you I'm going to make a secondary strap to tie to the D-ring over there that mounts to the seat, and that's a little crazy, but I don't know why I'm getting so paranoid about the rip out. Maybe because I believe this floor is paper thin in many ways. I mean, I believe now, a buddy of mine had a good point this morning. He said this is more of a unibody construction, meaning that these are not, it's not like my Toyota Tundra where the frame was so darn thick you could bolt anything to it and lift the truck up by it. That's not the case with this metal, especially the floor pan, and then even their beams. The beams are just kind of unibody in that they're bent metal to create structure, but there's not a lot of thickness to those beams. So he was like, oh, put self-tappers into the beams. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. These beams are just paper thin. They're not going to hold anything with a self-tapper type thing. So, and even when you drill through it, you're going to crush these beams in a bad accident. So you've got to spread the force out. That's why I started including these trim pieces, or these extra bar pieces. Now, why did I do this bolt-off scene? I don't really know in the end now. Part of it was I got paranoid in the beginning where I almost made some mistakes and drilled holes really close to this rear pin. That would have haunted me because, as you know, those hooks down here will run into the bolt and you'll never get your seat to sit in because it'll run into the bolt head. Then I almost drilled one right here where this other thing is, which I don't know what it is, and that would have kept my thing from seating. So I started getting paranoid of the rail, and then I was like, oh, I'll drill one. This one has no front hold down, as you know, the center one. Then I started seeing that I was going to get awfully close to the hook here on the center one with the bolt head. That's fine. But then I was going to put another one. Yeah, I could put one midstream up here, but then there's a beam that I'm going to run into here. And I wasn't sure I wanted to go through that, which I think it would have reinforced. I kind of now realizing the beam material is heavier than the floor pan material after drilling everything a few times. So again, I'm not sure. I started thinking I wanted leverage to hold the seat down in a bad accident, meaning that the longer the lever, obviously the further it's bolted back, the stronger it's going to be trying to tear this seat out of the floor on a rotation. I mean, you think about it, you got 3 people in there, let's say they're 200 pounds apiece. You got a 500-pound motorcycle up against the back of the seat. Yeah, you've reinforced it, tied it down in the ass end, hoping the motorcycle doesn't come forward. But you 3 200-pound guys with shoulder straps, you hit something, and you're pulling at the top of the seat, creating leverage, which, as you know, I pull hard enough, starts to rotate that seat forward, and you are going to tear your basic washers out of here, I think, butt quick. That's the reason we're reinforcing with bar steel, and I did the angle stuff, not just flat bar, because this is not going to collapse. Because when you drill a hole in this bar steel, if it were flat bar, you could tend to start folding this bar in half because you've weakened it with the hole, and as the forces start to tear up, you're going to fold that bar in half until you add some ridges to it. So I would use angle iron and or channel bars like these. You know, I was going to go with 1/4 inch, but this was more workable. And now that I have the channels, I feel comfortable with this. It's got, to me, probably the rigidity of 1/2 inch practically with these rails. Okay, so I've mentioned a couple things you don't need to do in the future or make the same mistakes. So here's my pin. I'm thinking about drilling another hole here and doing another plate, or I was going to build another longer bar and continue it from here all the way through to here. I'm not 100% sure yet, but bottom line is I think you should probably keep all your bolts within the tray here. I wouldn't, I guess, be afraid of drilling this again. So I would probably be if I do this over, I would have no bolt back here. You could probably eliminate that one. I would have a long bar. I would probably go from here with a bar underneath the van, of course, probably from here, like I mentioned. Let's see. Yeah, from here. And I would go all the way back to here, and I would only bolt 2 places, here and here. So the bar would travel all the way back, giving it that leverage liftoff, you know, strength. And also, if you get rear-ended by a semi doing 75 and you're at a standstill, you could tend to want to rip this up that way. Now, that's being paranoid, but then this being bolted here will prevent some of that tear up as well, because this bar, if this bar is long enough, let's say they come in 3-foot chunks, you could probably, you know, have killer leverage tear out protection there. Now, you're not going to run into anything on this beam. You're on the beam now on this one. This one, you're strictly floor plan or floor pan, so you do want, you know, a longer bar. I might put one up here, but you remember there's no connection to the seat here unless you make one in addition. I might do a strap there just to be paranoid. But the reason, you know, I had this bolt again off the rail is I got paranoid about, I didn't want to put one here too close. I didn't want to put one here. I couldn't hook in. The beam is roughly right about here. So I could put a bolt here, but I was afraid this hook would get in here and bump into it maybe. So I could go through the beam right about here, but I'm drilling, you know, the drive shaft's plenty far out of the way, so that's fine. I might just go through this beam right about here beneath the truck. It's a cross member this way. Or you could come up here and you could, if you went to the cross member, you could run your bar steel this way, that way to create the strength. You could run your bar steel that way. And then if you skip the beam and get off the beam, which might start around here, I think you could do another plate steel, connect to the front hole, and have that tear out protection this way. But again, this doesn't mount to the seat. It just sits here unless you want to put a strap through here and go up over the seat thing and hook it in. Again, I might be crazy. I'm just giving you ideas. This one, I did come up with a little improvement. Instead of doing my secondary strap to the beam on the seat, which the beam on the seat will be right above this, I'll have a strap I could pin into the D-ring if I want to be paranoid. I did the cut in the frame access holes, as I mentioned. I'll show you what I mean by that. And I did in the previous video, which is down in the subject or the body if you want to see that. Now I got to be careful over here. I got bit by like 30 fire ants yesterday. I don't know where they came from. I still don't know where they came from. But anyway, all right, here's a new idea for you guys that just came to me this morning or last night. Okay, you know I drilled these access holes. Here's my rear one and here's my front one close to the wires. You can see my hole through there. Now here's another theory. If I were to do it this, like on your van, if I came over to your house to help you, I would suggest we cut closer to the level of this, you know, floor pan on the inside and make it flush, you know, move this hole upward so that now we can use this bar steel, and I would go across the body. So I'd make this as long as I could to go in the hole. I'd, you know, have to cut it a hair wider. This is 2 inch, but this is a tight hole. And now I have this killer piece of steel, and I would bolt it twice and it would be across the whole floor pan. So that's an idea now to reinforce this. Now, the other idea obviously is if you go through the beam, which people have done, but they've been lowering the tank and putting in spacers and all this crap. I don't want to screw with the tank personally, but an improvement on that idea, I thought, is I am in a position where I could have gone through this beam possibly. Now, it's not a horrible thing that you go through at an angle, and we do a hole closer to the edge here. Now, how that could work is you could get angle iron and cover a little short piece of angle iron here, you know, 2 inch by 2 inch, and it would just tuck here. You might have to grind a hair off so you don't hit the tank, and you could make it as long as you want this way, and it would wrap around the corner because it's angle iron, and that would be a killer washer. You could drill the hole real close to the edge. Who cares if it's at an angle a little bit? And you do the hole through the angle iron. You have this killer steel washer that now has to collapse this whole corner to pull up, which is probably not going to be easily done. Again, this beam is heavier than the floor pan, I believe. And however, I mean, you are risking, some guys that bolted through here, you are risking that if they pull up on the seat really hard, you collapse this beam. Again, I believe this is more of a unibody construction, thin metal, not like my old Tundra that had heavy steel that you could bolt anything to. But let's just say you had a bolt with a regular washer and it got in a bad accident, you would start collapsing this beam. You could rip the tank loose by pulling this bolt away from, you know, the tank in a sense, and be a lot of forces flying around. Weird stuff happens. So anyway, keep those things in mind, but I thought that was another kind of good idea. Cut that flush, put this in there. You might have to put some spacers so things sit flush, or washers, or you could buy a thicker bar steel and it would sit more flush, because remember that floor pan in there drops down lower than the rest of this area because it's dipped for the rails. But then you could bolt this twice and have this killer piece of steel there. Now you'd have all the force on one end. Let's say it was sitting there and you get in an accident and this starts to get pulled up. It'd be like a can opener trying to rip the floor open, and it could a little bit, could cantilever that up, but it would be tremendously stronger than simply the 2 inch washer that I'm putting on the back of this very thin floor pan. Okay, just another idea. Hopefully you guys can learn from my mistakes and improve upon it. Nothing that I've done really so far is making me worry about making anything weak. I still I'm okay with my hidden bolt holes that I have there, you know, that are underneath the plywood. Once I tighten, like, I'm gonna have to install that first. This bar will be on the bottom, and I will bolt this up tight, all in alignment, and then I'll put the plywood on, and then I'll bolt the second bolt in, and I'll be good to go. Will I add another tear-through protection up here? I may. I'm pretty comfortable with what I've done, but I don't know, I always have to go that extra inch and make my life difficult for the paranoia. But I hope this helps you guys. I can't think of anything else that can catch you off guard. Yeah, I'm screwing around with the muffler shield, which, you know, that's part of the reason I avoided up here. But I mean, come on, it's a piece of tin, aluminum or whatever, so I'm probably gonna just have to cut this off and get the bar behind it. I'll cut one of these off, it'll still hold there well. Here's the other hole. I was going to use this hole so I don't drill a new one. That's a factory hole, so that's what I started spacing from here to there. I'm making a one continuous long bar. My original hole all the way down and make this rail basically indestructible, or this seat pull out really strong. So those are the things. I did drill through it over here once, as you saw. I probably should have pulled that off at that time and cleaned it up, but there's another mistake that you can avoid. Other than that, I am almost done with this silly thing. It is a lot more work than I thought. I kind of was learning along the way. I didn't realize the metal was this light until I got into it, and then I didn't realize how much I wanted to reinforce it, and then I forgot about the sandwich of the plywood and putting that down first and cutting it out just right. That's not too bad. You basically can line up with this hole in 2 places, and then this one you can just measure everything off. That's not bad. Get a circ saw though, for sure, man. Mine got a little wonky. Using a sawzall, which sucks, and then using a vibrating saw with a dull blade, which sucked. But okay, what else can I tell you? I think that's about it. I added additional vinyl in here for sound deadening, but that was kind of just scrap material I had laying around, and I put in the leftover, what do you call it, sound mat that I had from a previous project in this van. So in summary, I think you're covered. There was one more thing I'm trying to remember. That's it. I think I know I'm forgetting something, but oh yeah, and watch out for where these feet and these hooks and these bars are, because if you put the bolt in the wrong place, you're going to go all happy putting your seat in and realize she will not lock in. That's the one thing that almost got me a few times. All right, I hope that helps you guys. I can't think of any other little tricks right now, but if you have any questions, hit me up, and hopefully I can help you. Take care. Appreciate any likes and subscribes.